All right. I'm going to explain the nature of God, okay? It can be understood. It can actually be acknowledged. We see it every day. It's in every atom in existence, okay? People have taken the context of the word God and completely destroyed it over the past 10,000 years at least, all right? Our past ancient relatives had technology, they understood Alpha and Omega, all right? Alpha and Omega is real, okay? Alpha particles are alpha decay, okay? That comes from a nucleus, okay? That is nuclear energy. Omega is electrical energy. That's the electric shell or the covalent bond or the covalent shell, which basically is the mother force that creates everything. So you have your strong and your weak force, your nuclear and your electric energy, all right? These are alpha and omega. This is power that if you combine, you have the power of a star, okay? Now, space itself cannot be created. You cannot create empty space, especially by adding matter, okay? You take matter away to make space, okay? Imagine this. You have a pocket, but it doesn't have any walls to it, okay? You only have a pocket, but it doesn't have any edges. How can you erase that pocket? You can't. It's already nothingness. But that nothingness is also something. That's where most of our physics start falling apart, all right? Physicists can't, either they don't see it because they can't think abstract, because all they see is numbers, or they're purposely hiding it and overlooking it for a reason, because this is God. It's something that can't literally, it can be explained, but we can't fathom its existence, all right? All we can do is understand its nature, okay? God is an it. It's not a man. It's not a man with a beard. It's not a guy granting wishes. It's the quantum nature of the universe. Okay? It's the mind or will of the universe. Okay? Think of this. God. G. Generation. O. Operation. D. Destruction. Okay? Alright, so you have generation, operation, and destruction. What is this? This is creation, order, and chaos. Okay? Now, I'm going to get to my manuscript. Alright, now I got a lot of work here, okay, but I'm just going to get to the basis of it and explain that this book, believe it or not, has more science in it than anyone would ever imagine. And I'm also going to explain why men carry the genes for the man and woman. That's why the man gives birth to man and woman, okay? The alpha, all right? And I'm going to explain that. All right, so, yes, the men carry the gene, and I'm going to explain why. And it's more simple than anyone would have ever imagined. But a lot of people don't ever bother to unify anything. They just, oh, it don't exist. Oh, it don't exist. Or, oh, that has nothing to do with this. Oh, I mean, everybody's got some naysay, all right? There are people that know this kind of stuff, but it's hard to put together, you know? But if you really think about it and know what to consider, then it's not as hard as you would think. All right, I'm just going to start with an atom, okay? I'm just going to start with an atom, all right? Now, obviously, we have the nucleus, which is the alpha, or the strong. Then we have the omega, which is the covalent, or the electric. Now, alpha decay emits beta particles, okay? Beta particles are electrons, all right? That's omega. The fact that the beta emits Y and X is the reason why alpha males carry the gene for male and female, all right? Completely obvious right here once you start studying this stuff. I mean, it solves so many problems, or not even problems, just things we don't know or haven't even put together, or it's like Jeopardy. We have all the answers, but we don't know the right questions, okay? Scientists are working the opposite way than I'm working. All of the stuff I've been working on has gone the exact opposite, but it's proved everything that science has proved, all right? There is space before the Big Bang, all right? The Big Bang itself is made of quarks and leptons, all right? All right, now I'm just going to jump to right here. All right, say this is the singularity. Well, hold on, I'll get a better page. All right, now, quarks and leptons, okay? This is basically what creates the God particle, okay? The God particle is technically the third generation of matter, okay? The fourth generation of matter is everything that exists. Physicists will say, well, we don't know if there's a fourth generation of matter, but we think there is. Obviously there is. It's everything that exists. See what I'm saying? The fact is, look, like I was saying with space, it's nothingness and it's something. This is where all of our physics start crumbling, all right? This is why we have all of these paradoxes, okay? Because they keep saying space was created during the Big Bang. You can't quantify infinity, okay? You can't even measure infinity. The only way you can even describe infinity is with the word infinity, okay? It's unmeasured time, okay? So before the Big Bang, it's just timeless space. Timeless space for eternity with quarks and leptons, or alpha and omega, okay? The nuclear energy of the universe and the electric energy of the universe, all right? This is living energy, living potential energy, all right? This living potential energy wants to live, okay? It wants to birth life, all right? Now, like I was saying, you can't quantify infinity, okay? So when they say space was created when it already existed, that negates a lot of their problems, or causes a lot of the problems, and negates their equations or creates paradoxes and all of that, okay? Once they understand, all of the religions, look, I've been studying all the religions, all right? I've basically broke it down. Every one of them are ancient Big Bang theories, all right? Every one of them say space is infinity. I mean, space has always existed, okay? Then you have space-time and matter, okay? Which would be, say, for example, you know, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, all right? It's just different names. If you start looking into what I'm talking about, you'll start seeing all the same connections, all right? Now, you cannot create infinite space, okay? You can't create it. How do you create space? Well, you remove something, okay? But how can you remove something that's infinity? You can't. I mean, it is, okay? Space just is, all right? Now, they say that the Big Bang created quarks and leptons, okay? Now, first of all, what was the Big Bang made of? Obviously, it had to be made of something. It was made of quarks and leptons, okay? That is nuclear energy and electric energy. It's basically a macro star. We live in a macro nova remnant, okay? That's what our universe is. All right, so basically, the Higgs boson is the singularity, okay? That's why we haven't found it, because it already happened. Now, people are like, oh, they found the Higgs boson. Look, you do some research and tell me where they found it, when they found it. They never did. They can't even identify it. They just know it exists. That's why the guy got the Nobel Prize, by figuring out, oh, there's something that gives mass and matter and creates everything. Of course there is. It was the singularity. It's common sense. But nobody ever puts anything together. Everybody's too busy fighting and arguing. So, quarks and leptons came before the singularity, because they made the singularity. Then, once it exploded, you got the hydrogen, helium, and lithium. Okay? Now you think, well, where did this come from? What's it made of? These quarks and leptons, it's nuclear energy. Well, check this out, technically. All right, now, the singularity. All right? Now, it's technically made of ash. Okay? It's ash. This is the secret behind carbon. Everything in the universe, life and everything. The previous universe that existed in this space, because this has all happened before, the whole universe that was there first reduced to ash. Okay, and it became a God particle again. Carbon has the highest sublimation point of any element. All right, now, this singularity is living energy. Okay, stars are alive. All right, now think of this. I'll get to this in a second, but I'm gonna bring the life of a star to you. All right, if it's okay. Life evolves according to its environment. All right. The environment of space is cold, dark, and huge. So a star, when it evolves, it's going to have to be able to sustain against all that cold and all that dark and all that huge. Okay? That's the kind of thing it's going to evolve. So it's going to evolve as a big ball of fire that lives for a long time, that is very bright. Okay? That's a star. And it is alive. Just because it doesn't have a heartbeat does not mean it's not alive, okay? Living energy is everything that composes plasma. Plasma is everything that's alive, okay? Plants, animals, and stars, okay? If it's alive, it contains plasma, all right? Now, this singularity is literally electrical, chemical, and nuclear energy, all right? It might not even be chemical energy yet. Technically, we get the biochemical once it makes us. Now, life is technically potential, okay? It's potential energy, which we put out kinetic energy, all right? Now, this is the singularity, all right? It's potential energy. All right, now, when this singularity blows up, boom! Now you can start measuring time, okay? Time does not exist unless you have time, or space, and matter relative to each other. If you have matter and space relative to each other, now you can measure time, okay? You have no time unless you have matter relative to space, Okay? This is where all these illusions and time is a myth and time is fake and all that start coming from. All right? See what I'm saying? All of these problems we have can be solved very easily. But people got to quit arguing and actually want to study this stuff. All right? So now, boom, now we have time. It's linear. It's dark energy. All right? It's expanding outward. All right? Now, space is not inflating. You can't inflate empty space. Only the matter is expanding outward. All right? We actually live in the light, the atmosphere of this explosion, because it's still technically exploding right now. Because it's on such a grand scale, it literally explodes in slow motion. You know what I'm saying? All right? So, linear time is this dark energy. All right? That is spreading outward. It's making matter fly outward. It's a linear propulsion forward. All right? So, this is time flying outward. You have literally only space and then matter. Boom! Now you have time. That's the chronological order of these. Space, matter, time. It's technically matter and time that are symbiotic, not space. Space can exist on its own as a Lone Ranger. Okay? It doesn't even need matter or time. It just exists. All right? It will form matter from this microcosm. Now, I'm not going to get in the cosms. I'm just going to explain this, all right? I don't want to give out too much information because people need to soak it up before they start understanding other things. Now, I've explained this. A couple of my friends, man, I've blown their minds, man, and they're picking up on all this and they're understanding it a lot better, and they know. And they're like, wow, I can't believe, physicists can't see this. Now, obviously, if I can figure this out and other people can figure this out, the physicists have had to have figured this out. And they're just hiding it. They're hiding the nature of God, all right? Now, well, that would actually cause chaos, and that's money, okay? But anyway,